Voice of Industry.
Voice of Industries.
Thomas, welcome to Voice of Industries. I'm very happy to have you today because we'll discuss about a topic that I am considering since many years, and I think it's not still very mature, but I think it's really a topic that can transform the industry. And the idea is to discuss about digitization from the perspective of process equipment manufacturers, or I would say machine manufacturers that are used in process manufacturing industry. So before starting the discussion, could you please introduce yourself and your role at ARC?
Mathieu, thank you very much. Thank you for this warm welcome. And yes, my name is Thomas Menzel. I'm working as consultant at ARC Advisory Group. ARC is an abbreviation that stands for Automation Research Company. So we are conducting market research on automation systems. We are doing this for 30 years now, or for more than 30 years right now. So I would call we are experienced here. And my personal focus area is the process automation side, and I'm consultant for the digital transformation. That means I'm talking to end users of production equipment and suppliers at the same time to really identify opportunities for the digital transformation to increase the efficiency of our production plants. That's me.
Great. So as you mentioned, we often talk about digitization in plants, but today the idea is to discuss this topic that, in my opinion, is still underexploited, is how digitization can change the way equipment manufacturers are working with their customers. Can we start by having your observation on how industrial expectations from their process equipment manufacturers are changing?
Yes, we can. And I think we should really start at the beginning. First of all, digitalization is a technology we all know, let's say, from the IT world, and it pops up now in the OT world. And the OT will use digitalization only if they see clear benefits. Just because the technology is available, that's not good enough. They need to see and understand their benefits. What's in for the, and you said machine builders, let's call these machine builders OEM, original equipment manufacturers. That's fair enough. To answer your question, the OEM business is changing. So the production environment becomes more and more complex. It has to be really competitive against other trends, and here and there digitalization could be an enabler, because to be more competitive you need more core competencies at the same time. You have to connect core competencies. That means you need a core competency for the production process itself. You need maybe somebody who is responsible for the quality and another guy who is really responsible for the production machine. And then balancing quality, energy resources, and the optimal working point for the machine. And having said that, I think, digitalization is an enabler, because if we can combine all these different core competences on one digital platform, that is something which is really helpful, and I can imagine that's the way forward into the future. Especially we have seen after the pandemic that the production environment can be changed quickly. And if something happens in future, again, we have to react much faster than we did in the past.
Okay, so you mean agility and reactivity are also some benefits from that?
Definitely, yes, yeah.
Having said that, it means equipment suppliers, or OEM as you call them, need to exchange data extensively with their customers.
Yeah, that's correct. I said already we have these different core competences around the production process. And a core competency can only be used if this core competency is fed by data streams. So they need really production data to do to take fact-based decisions. And yes, because of that, the exchange of data will change the future of the production processes.
When we talk about plants, it's quite straightforward. It's IT or T architecture, but when you are an OEM, how do you handle that? It's the IT/OT architecture will be completely different in such contexts. And what I feel is cloud and connectivity solution seems to offer new opportunity on that.
Yeah, that is true, because coming back to the core competences, only the OEM manufacturer knows his machine best. And if I can deliver, let's say, all KPIs, key performance indicators of the machine to the OEM, he can interpret these kind of KPIs and maybe suggest corrective action, or he simply says, let it running because it runs in the best format. So that means, yeah, we need more cloud connectivity, we need more data exchange to be prepared to handle these future production processes.
Yeah, and what you just said is really interesting. That means that you mentioned KPIs and interpret these KPIs with the expertise from the suppliers. Does it also mean that maybe the OEM can build advanced analytics models that will take as input data the data coming from this equipment, and then with I will say algorithm be able to in real time bring to the user feedbacks on how to improve the performance, or maybe sometimes suggestion to facilitate the troubleshooting?
Definitely yes. And we see these trends right now, because remember, we have now to meet after the Paris conference, these climate goals. And let's say being more sustainable, even in production, is required. And let's say an OEM with the right subset of production data can help the user of the machine to be more energy efficient, to produce less waste, and maybe increase the production quality at the same time. So definitely yes, that's the answer to your question.
Okay, so that's very clear. And now the question is how to do that. And what we can see is that some equipment suppliers, they are having their teams to develop specific software to build this digital solution to better serve their customers. But it's not always a success. And what for you are the key aspects they have to consider to achieve these goals of digitizing and providing new services around their equipment?
Okay, so the answer to this is relatively simple. We have to meet the level of acceptance of the people who are using this kind of data, who are interpreting, let's say, specific dashboards. Going back to the IT world, we all know from mobile phones that we have, let's say, apps on our phones, which are really easy to use. In the past, some of the OT-related software definitely wasn't easy to use. You need special training and maybe education to use this effectively. So it is really important that the ease of use of these kind of new digital software tools is in line with the expectations of the OEMs and the plant people and the production people. And that is maybe crucial. If we have a digital production in future, the level of acceptance on the OEM side and the end user side must be high. And at the same time, cybersecurity is sometimes a real issue. So as a software supplier, you have to provide a decent level of cybersecurity that everybody feels safe to use these connected machines.
Recently, you told me that OEM companies need to rely on existing and proven core data solutions. What do you mean by core data solutions?
So core data solutions means I have a infrastructure in place where I have really access to the real-time production data, plus maybe additional IoT data to combine these two subsets of data to run the analytics, and the analytics deliver then the result for the fact-based decision-making process.
Thanks. What we just discussed, I think, will change a lot the way of working and selling for OEM companies. And I'm interested to exchange with you about the benefits of this transformation. And first, could we look at this from the point of view of the suppliers, and particularly what these OEM suppliers can expect in terms of evolution of their offers and service range, thanks to this digitization?
Yeah, that's really a good question. So the OEM, they can, let's say, reconfigure or re-establish their business model completely. So far a machine was sold, let's say, within capex investments. That means you more or less bought the machine and then it was your property of the production company. This can be changed now because with this remote access to the production data, the OEM can maybe lease or can supply the machine in a subscription model to a supplier and really monitor the functionality of the machine. He can fine-tune the machine that the best-in-class MTBF is mean time between failure, will be achieved. That means the machine is really reliable and everything is under control. So MTBF, mean time between failure, can be fine-tuned, and you see in advance that certain maintenance requests are happening, but you can really pre-plan. You can plan to purchase the required spare parts. You can scheduling the engineer who conducts the maintenance activity at the machine in advance, so that on the specific day, everything is set up and ready to do proper maintenance. That means, again, for the OEM supplier, the effectiveness of his machine goes up to maximum.
So that means he can have a better customer satisfaction, and I can imagine also customer retention, because they will, at the end, the customer will benefit a lot from this new offer and services.
Of course, if you have a machine with highly MTBF numbers, and if the energy consumption is really fine-tuned, then of course I will stay with these kind of suppliers, because these kind of production machines meets 100% my objective from a producer point of view.
Let's consider one thing. Elon Musk is always saying data from what I sell is key for me to improve the product I sell.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that for the OEM, having a wide range of data from many customers' equipments, together with also many different operational conditions, can help them to better design their machine and their equipment at the end. And on top of having better customer satisfaction, they can also improve and feed their R&D to improve their equipment design.
Yes, that is absolutely right, and that happens already in the real world. I give you an example. We have discussed the MTBF figure of the whole machine. Let's imagine this machine contains a lot of different motors, and every motor has their own MTBF according to the environmental data. Ambient temperature would be an example. And now imagine you deliver one machine to Northern Europe, cold environment, and the same machine to Asia, hot environment, temperature. And then you realize, hey, one specific motor fails more often in Asia than in Northern Europe. And you really understand, hey, this is because the environment temperature for this motor is maybe too high and the MTBF of the motor is reduced. You can really change the requirements for the motor, install something differently, and then you increase the reliability of the whole machine. That means you are really in the position to sell an OEM machine for a global use cases, because this machine is everywhere, has everywhere in the world the same MTBF. These kind of opportunities are definitely happens with digitalization, and it happens right now. I have seen this kind of examples in several discussions with OEM manufacturers.
Can we say that there is still a lot to do in this area, and digitization is just starting in OEM, and maybe that it's really key for them in terms of competitiveness to do this move because the one, I would say, the quality of service and the quality of products of the one who will take this, I would say, opportunity given by digital transformation will make a strong difference.
Yes, so that's absolutely right. I think this whole initiative is in early adopter mode and is growing really fast because it is required by more and more OEMs because they all see the benefits. They all want to deliver highest customer value and they want to be competitive. And they want to reduce maintenance and spare part costs. So it fits brilliantly together. So digitalization is really the way into a bright future for OEM business.
Thomas, thanks a lot for this very insightful exchange on OEM. Hope to see you soon.
Okay, yeah, of course. I'm happy to be here and discuss with you. Thank you for being here and looking forward to our next fruitful discussion.
Thanks.